thing we need to cover is two-way tables. So this is actually back, I should have included this in the last video. This is actually a chapter 1 topic that looks at the relationship between categorical variables, because everything that we have done, okay, if we go back up here, is looking at numerical variables, two numerical variables. So just a reminder that you can use two-way tables for categorical variables. Okay, so last year we spent the majority of the time on two numerical variables. However, you have to know this for the exam. So in two-way tables, this is the most important thing. The categories of the response variable are the rows. So the easy way to remember is R and R. Response variable, label rows. Response rows, which means the explanatory variable is the columns. So here's an example. The following data was obtained when a sample of Year 9 students were asked if they intended to go to university. The sex of the student was also recorded. Create a two-way table. So, which one explains the other? So we have to determine the response and explanatory variable. Will someone's sex explain whether they go to uni, or does whether they go to uni explain their sex? Well, it makes more sense that sex would explain if they go to uni. So sex is our explanatory variable, and intends to go to uni is our response. Now, remembering from the last page, response variable is the rows. So when we construct this two-way table on the next slide, we need to make sure that the response, which is here, is our rows. So intends to go to uni, yes, no, total, that's our rows. And our columns are our explanatory variables. So sex, male and female. Okay, and we obviously just go and insert this information from the data. So we found that there's a male that wants to go to uni, yes. So we would say tally mark if we wanted, or we can just go, yep, there's one there and there's one there, so that's 2. Once we've got our data, so once we've got our key data in this center 4 pieces, we construct our total columns. So we've add those together, add our row together, add our row together, and a reminder that this should always equal the number of people that did it. So there was 10 people, and that's 10. Okay, so then on the next slide, interpreting a two-way table. So are males and females in Year 9 equally likely to indicate an intention to go to uni? The data from the interviews with 200 Year 9 students are summarized. So to help us answer this question, we need to create a percentage frequency table. So are males and females in Year 9 equally likely to indicate intention? So first of all, we determine the column percentages. So the column percentages are exactly that. If we want to work out the percentage of males who intend to go to university, we say 50% or 50 divided by the 105 multiplied by 100 to turn it into a percentage. So 50 divided by 105 multiplied by 100 is 47.6, and then 55 divided by 105 multiplied by 100 is 52.42, and that should total 100% of the males. And then we do the same for the females. So we just want 54 out of the 95 and then 41 out of the 95, determine those as percentages, and we have our answer here. Okay, so then we look at this and go, okay, well, the question said, are males and females in Year 9 equally likely to indicate an intention to go to university? Well, 47.6 males and actually 56.8% females. So females are more likely, and we would write that answer in our response. So in this sample of 200 Year 9 students, a greater proportion of females, 56.8%, than males, 47.6%, were intending to go to university. This shows there is an association between sex and intention to go to university. Okay, and last of all, I thought this was important to show you as well. So two-way tables for categorical variables with more than 2 categories. So the two-way frequency table on the next slide displays the smoking status of 500 adults, smoker, past smoker, or never smoked, by highest level of education, Year 9 or less, Year 10 or 11, Year 12, or if they've gone to uni. The segmented bar chart has also been constructed from this table to help with the analysis. Write a brief report identifying if there's an association between education and smoking status. So don't look at the information on the left. Let's look at this, okay? So first of all, we can see, for example, that the level of education. So a smoker, So current smokers that finish uni, there's only 11.4%. Current smokers that only completed year 9, there's 34%. Never smoked. So people that have never smoked that only completed up to year 9 were 30% of people. And then in terms of the university, so never smoked and went to university, well, 53.6% of university attendees have actually never smoked, compared to 28% who are past smokers and compared to 18.4% who are smokers. And this table sort of shows this information as well. So then we need to turn this into a bit of a report. So we can say that, first of all, I guess we need to determine, does there seem to be a relationship? And if we look, we can sort of see that as your education improves, the chance of them currently being a smoker lessen. So university educated smokers is only 18.4, whereas if you've only completed the year up to year 9 or less, currently there's 34% of people are still smoking. Okay, so we can talk about this in our reports. So in the sample of 500 adults, there is an association between level of education and smoking. This would be a complex familiar question, by the way. This is because the percentage of adults who have never smoked tends to increase with their level of education. The rate is lowest at 30% for those with an education level in year 9. It increases to 34.5% for those with year 10 and 11, 42.6% with those in year 12, and 53.6% for those who attended university. That's one way of answering that question. Okay, last little bit, example question. So are those people who are satisfied with their job more likely to be satisfied with their life? Data collected from a survey of 110 adults is summarised in this two-way table. Question A, convert the two-way table into percentage frequency table, and B, can you explain whether there is an association between people who are satisfied with their job being more satisfied with their life? So how about you pause the video now and have a crack at this question. Solution, so to convert it into a percentage two-way table, it looks as follows. Okay, so just a reminder on how to do that. You would go 36 divided by the total of people dissatisfied. So 36 plus 12 is 48. So 36 divided by 48 will give you that value there. Okay, and same with 12 divided by 48 will give you this value here. Do the same with the other side, and that is your completed frequency percentage table. Next, explain whether there is association between people who are satisfied with their job being more satisfied with life. So satisfaction with life, satisfied, and satisfaction with job. So looks like if people are more satisfied with their life, they're also satisfied with their job. So there does appear to be an association with those people who are satisfied with their jobs being more likely to be satisfied with their lives. Of those people who are satisfied with their jobs, 77.4% were satisfied with life, while a much lower percentage, 25% of people who were dissatisfied with their job were satisfied with their lives. So it shows where those marks are given. So guys, that I know it's a long video. I'm sorry, the other ones will be much shorter than this. It's just because we had to go through all of the content from chapter 2. Okay, so please make sure that you understand this content and you'll be ready to practice it with the first lesson that you come back.